So this is going to be a tutorial video on how to analyze hundreds, thousands, or more ads quickly using machine learning and artificial intelligence. So this project is going to be focused on analyzing CRM ads on LinkedIn. I've got Monday, Pipedrive, and a few others. The tools that I'm going to be using to analyze it are Grok. If you're unfamiliar with Grok, they're essentially a hardware platform for hosting AI models. Lightning fast. They've got some big models like LLaMA 3.370B. They have some of the vision models. They have some of Google's Gemma models, Mixtral. Amazing platform. They've got a free tier. Would absolutely recommend trying them. If you've used, say, OpenAI's API or Claude's API, it's very good. You can see the models they have here. I'm also going to be using LangChain to access Grok with Python. One of the other core applications we're using, using Hugging Face. If you're unfamiliar with Hugging Face, they're basically trying to be the GitHub of open source machine learning models. The particular model that I'm going to be using is this all mini, and what it'll do is it clusters the data based on the hooks, and we're going to be using some data from LinkedIn's ads library. You can use whatever library you want. They give you a phenomenal amount of information. You can scrape these yourself. You can use APIs like Rapid API. You can use tools like Rapid API. So if you've never heard of them, they're basically a big API market for people that'll gather data that people want that's not usually easily accessible. So you can get like LinkedIn ads data, Facebook ads library data, and yeah. So let's dive into it. So this code is all done in Python. Nothing special going on here. There's a couple hundred lines of code. I'll make the code available if anyone's interested. But what it's doing is, so most of this is referencing those large language model APIs. So it's using Grok, using Hugging Face. Hugging Face actually got downloaded locally, so it's faster. But to just give you a quick rundown of what's going on. So this is the way, there's two parts to this project. The first part, I've already done the bulk of the work, but it's going through those ads, and this is purely focused on the images in these ads. So if we go to this one, so we're just focusing on this for simplicity's sake. And so what it's going to do, it's going to analyze this image and it's going to pull out relevant information. So for what I have it doing is so it's looking for the hook, it's looking for a call to action if there is one, it's trying to infer a target audience if one is mentioned, describes the image, and it just gives you all the text on the image. Now it's so-so with extracting the text. Like when I've tried it previously, sometimes it'll say not podcasts and videos. So your mileage may vary. You want to set up guardrails to make sure it's extracting it and getting everything you need. But after it's done that, I'm going to aggregate everything up using the all mini model to cluster everything based on related hooks. So I have around 400 or 500 of these ads that have already been downloaded. So what it's going to do next is, all right, so go down here. So since I've already extracted that analysis for a couple hundred of these ads, what I'm going to do next is cluster everything. So I'm going to go through, do this, cluster image analysis. It should take less than a minute to go through. And what it's doing, it's getting all that data, loading the model, and it's looping. After it's clustered everything, it's looping through and it's actually analyzing the cluster. Say, all right, the mini says all these are related, and after that one's related them, we aggregate the hooks, and what it'll do is it'll pass that information off to Grok using the LLaMA 3.370 billion model, and it's going to say like, hey, these are all related. Can you tell me some patterns about them? And so we've got here, and I'm going to open up I've got an Excel file of this that I'll pull open. Cool. So we have these. So I'm going to sort it by descending. So we have streamlined, yep, empower, Monday, easy to use, work smarter, modern, Monday, smart sheet, generate high quality leads, customers. So we've got all these different categories, and what it's doing. And so those are just all the clusters. And what's going on here, this is Grok and LLaMA 3's analysis of those individual clusters. So we've passed that information on. So they tell us about it. So this phrase is present in every hook, suggesting the primary empower your users is the primary hook. We have these easy to use, focus on CRM, emphasis on simplicity and ease of use. So we have more of these startups. So we're getting a lot of information really quickly. It took a few hours to put the code together, but once it's up and running, it can loop through this stuff really quickly. Like it went through around 400 of these ads in less than a minute, and it's giving you this high-level rundown of all this. So we've got for whatever workflows you run. So you can get really quick high-level research, and actually you can even get really detailed on this. So yeah, and you can scale this up if you want to add in more, if you want to add in thousands, tens of thousands. You can really add as much as you want. It'll obviously be slower and you have to put more thought into this, but just one of the quicker, more useful ways to use AI in terms of just getting the data, structuring it, and then being able to rip those insights out at scale. Because then you can look at this and say, all right, we've gone through hundreds of ads in just a few minutes, and if you had a person reading that, it would take hours. So hope you learned something from this. I can make the code publicly available if you're interested. Comment below. Thanks for watching.